Hey, what's going on, guys? Will Galloway, Uncle Bill by Houses. Hey, in today's episode of Real Estate Pays Me, we're going to be talking about, is wholesaling dead? Wholesaling is dead? Is it really? I don't think so. Let's talk about it.
I've been blessed to make some money off of real estate. Subscribe to the channel, I can show the way. Uncle Bill buy houses, let them demonstrate. Uncle Bill buy houses, let them demonstrate. Real estate crazy, know that God made me. Real estate pay me, real estate pay me. Real estate pay me, real estate pay me, real estate pay me.
I don't think wholesaling will ever be dead. And here's why. Because as long as somebody still needs to sell their house, as long as there's people that's out there selling at a discounted price, as long as there's people who want to buy properties, people who want to sell properties, it'll never be dead. Now, the thing that the reason why people are saying it's dead now that we're in 2025 is because there's a lot of things that took place in 2024 that caused, somewhat of a dip in the market, right? Of course, we all know in 2024, the interest rates, kind of changed a little bit. They went up and we were really just recovering from COVID, and the housing market still haven't fully recovered, and the interest rates didn't make it any better. So what happened with the interest rates? The interest rates actually made it to where there wasn't a large buyer pool, and it ended up being a domino effect, right? So here's the thing. In wholesaling, our goal is to be able to sell it to not only landlord buyers, but also cash buyers who are looking to do a fix and flip, who are looking to fix the property up. And their goal is to sell it to a retail buyer, right? So if you have a retail buyer that can't get funding, then now you have a flip property that an investor can't actually sell to the retail buyer, because the retail buyer, either the money is costing too much because of the rates is too high, or maybe they just can't get approved. So it ended up being a domino effect all the way around. And the person at the bottom of the chain, which is the wholesaler, because it starts with the wholesaler who's selling it to the actual flipper, and then the flipper is actually fixing it up to sell it to the actual retail buyer. So everybody's getting affected. The retail buyers are getting a higher rate. The flip buyer's property sitting on the market so long because, he's not seeing a whole lot of buyers coming into, wanting to make offers on the property. So buyers are starting to see their property sit on the market longer, which is making them hesitate on, should I wait till the rates get better? Should I, is this even the right time? Should I wait for after the election? Should I wait till it start getting back warm? All of these different things. And what I would say is, again, I don't think necessarily wholesaling is dead like people are saying, but you do have to be more strategic about how you make your offers. You got to be more strategic about the specific areas that people are still buying in. Now, regardless of what, where you are, you have to study your area, right? Now, there's some areas across the country, and you have to do this research, right? One of the things I like to look at is areas where the days on the market is really, really low. So you might be in a market, like I'm in the Atlanta area, right? So in the Atlanta area, we taking the hit. So the properties, are, you're seeing a lot of price reductions. You're seeing properties sit on the market a little bit longer, but you can also go north of Atlanta. You can go like to Sandy Springs, or you can go like to Gwinnett County, and they haven't really been affected as much. So you have to look at, what area you're in, and you have to study the metropolitans around that area, right? You have to study those areas to see like which areas are still trending in sales, because you're going to have those small pockets where they're not getting affected by the market. That particular market has people who are working class, people who, they're not getting affected by the interest rates. They're not getting affected by, nothing dealing with the market, the trends or anything like that. So you have to do your research, and you have to see days on the market. You want to look at least 45 days or less. Properties are selling pretty fast. In those type of markets, those are great markets to wholesale in. Now, the challenge is it make it to where those type of markets, it's harder to find deals in. But if you could be, in these times where it's getting harder to wholesale, it's getting harder to sell properties, think about it. If you got a property that's on a retail market it sells less than 45 days, that means that there's inventory needed in that area. And there are buyers who are hungry looking for properties in that area. So you as the wholesaler, if you can find the gold, which is those properties at a discounted price, then guess what? You'll be able to survive when people are saying the wholesaling market is dead. So my advice to you is,
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Will Galloway, Uncle Bill Buy Houses. I am so excited to invite you to the Ultimate Real Estate Wealth Challenge. Now this is a 5-day virtual challenge, guys. I'm doing online February the 17th through February the 21st, 2025. And I'm excited to invite you. This is what we're going to be covering over the 5 days. We're going to be covering wholesaling houses, guys. I'm going to show you how I'm wholesaling houses, how I'm using none of my money, none of my credit. I'm leveraging other buyers to be able to wholesale these properties. We're also going to be talking about how I fix and flip properties. So if you're thinking about rehabbing, you want to be a fix and flipper, I'm going to be going over my blueprint on how I fix and flip properties every single year. And then lastly, but not least, my specialty, which is Section 8 rentals, guys. I'm going to show you how I built a rental portfolio and all of my tenants are under Section 8. I'm going to show you how the Section 8 works. So if you had any curiosity, you had any questions, this will be the time to come learn up under me, guys. So there's going to be 3 different options. We got the general option, which is actually free. And we also got the VIP and the platinum option. Whichever option you choose, it doesn't matter. I really just want you to be there. If you were interested in learning a little bit more about the Ultimate Real Estate Wealth Challenge, then go to 𝐟EIWealthChallenge.com. That's 𝐟EIWealthChallenge.com. And I'll see you on the 17th, and we're going to rock out. All right, guys, back to the episode.
you need to study your area or whatever area you're trying to, whether you're doing virtual wholesaling, it doesn't matter. You need to study the areas. You need to study the trends, study those little pocket markets where the housing is selling really, really fast. And those are the areas you need to be targeted. So you might need to do a niche down list in those areas. You might need to do more direct mail in those areas. You might need to have your cold callers calling more in those areas. You might need to do more texting in those areas. You might need to take, 3 to 5 of those markets and just really go crazy. Go crazy in those markets and just do mass marketing just in those markets. Choose 3 to 5. If you don't really have a big budget, choose one market. Maybe it's a market near you. Maybe it's not a market near you. But whatever it is, make sure that you're paying attention to the days on the market and if the properties are flying off the shelf. And also, it had to be a metropolitan area. You don't want to be in no area where, it's 5,000 people living there, right? You want to make sure it's a metropolitan area where, there's 1 million plus people living there. School systems are good. Crime rates is good. Those are some other things you want to pay attention to. But 9 times out of 10, if the days on the market is 45 days or less, I would say, 30 days or less would be excellent, but at least 45 days or less, 9 times out of 10, it's a good school system. 9 times out of 10, it's low crime areas because that's why they're selling like that. But those are the areas where you're going to be able to survive as a wholesaler. Now, again, I know it's going to be challenging finding deals in those areas. But again, if you niche down on lists like probate lists, if you niche down on lists like tax default lists, niche down on lists like the code violations, you may have to drive for dollars in those areas, right? Or have somebody go drive for dollars in those areas. But niche down on lists that you can't really find, like on the PropStream list and stuff like that, PropWire lists, the free websites and stuff like that. You may have to build your own list to be able to be strategic and be able to find the specific leads for those particular areas. So when you ask me, is wholesaling dead? I would say, nah, you just got to do a little bit more studying. You just have to do a little bit more research. You just have to do your due diligence and find what are the hot pockets. And you need to be able to do mass marketing in those hot pockets, because guess what? If there's a hot pocket, there's a hot buyer that's looking for your next deal. So that's my tip for the day, guys. Hopefully you guys like this tip. Is wholesaling dead? Some people say it is. Some people say it isn't. I would say it'll never be dead. So I would just say right now, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Real Estate Pays Me. This channel is made for you to be able to level up in your real estate realms, whether that's wholesaling, whether that's fix and flips, whether that's rentals, whatever that looks like. You need to be getting paid from real estate, and I'm here to help you. So go ahead and like the video, subscribe, comment, give me your feedback, and I look forward to seeing you on the next show.